Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Today, I am wearing these orange earrings because I thought that they would be very fitting to today's video, which is, once again, another check-in on the straights. And you may be asking, what in the heck do oranges have to do with that? And the relevance is because this channel was built off the back of Are the Straights Okay? And like, straight TikToks, etc. That's where this all began. And at the beginning, when I started this channel, these were kind of my only earrings. This is kind of all I had going for me. I started on TikTok, which a lot of people don't know, and these earrings were iconic. This was all I ever wore. They're in like every TikTok and every first video that I had. That might be a lie. Please don't go check. And so I thought today it would be fitting to bring them back, which makes it seem like I'm like closing the series. I'm not. This is gonna carry on forever. But I saw them and I was like, oh my god, you know what I haven't worn for ages? You know what would be perfect? The oranges. So that's what I'm doing today. I didn't need to explain that. I don't know why I felt the need to do that, but I did. I just feel like talking. Today we are checking in on the straights because it's a new month. So, is it a new month? Is it the middle of the month? I don't know when it is. I'm in New Zealand right now while you're watching this. In summer, hopefully, with my dog. So I'm winning, kinda. Anyway, the straights. Are they okay? Finally? Probably not, but there's only one way to find out. But before we get into it, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to today's patron of the day, Anu. I appreciate you greatly, so thank you so much for all of your support. If anyone else would like to become patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat. It starts at as little as £1 a month, and I appreciate it. And also, before we get into it, I would like to let you know that today's video is in fact sponsored by Aura. Are you all sick of getting calls from numbers that you had no idea who they belong to, and texts from people offering you jobs that don't exist? Because I know that I am. And that is where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in to help you out. Did you know that data brokers are allowed to sell your information to whomever is willing to pay for it? And that largely includes robocallers who are spamming you with their calls and messages in order to, scam you and get money off of you, etc. Wouldn't it be nice if you just had an app that automatically got rid of all of your data being sold? Because Aura is that girl. She can do that for you, which is truly brilliant. So when you're going onto all of your websites and clicking allow all cookies and effectively a lot of the time allowing them to sell your information, if you have Aura, you can be rest assured that that's not going to happen. They'll opt out for you. So you can feel safe and secure while you're browsing the internet without fear of your information being sold, which is brilliant. So if you would like to stop your information being used and exploited for profit, then you should sign up for Aura. You can go to my link, aura.com/kiwi, or click the top link in the description, and you can get your first 2 weeks off completely free. It is incredibly easy to set up. It's only one app, so you don't even need multiple apps for everything, such as VPN, parental control, password management, identity theft, insurance, etc. All of that is in one app at an affordable price. And again, you can get your first 2 weeks free if you use my link, aura.com/kiwi, or the top link in the description. It is absolutely worth it. Spam calls and spam texts, they suck. They're the worst. And, we deserve to feel safe online, knowing that our information is not being sold for profit. So thank you, Aura, for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's jump in. Let's have a dive. Everybody buckle up. It's always a bumpy ride. Successful marriages are built on women's ability to forgive cheating. That will never work in this generation. SMH. I really don't think so. I'm pretty sure that successful marriages are not built on the back of women forgiving cheating. I'm pretty sure that successful marriages are built on the back of love and trust and communication and respect and compassion. I'm pretty sure that that's what successful marriages are built on. I think that you implying this kind of just implies that marriages are successful when you control your partner, which, no. Having dominance and control over your partner and having them stay with you despite you hurting them, it's not a successful marriage. That may be you staying together. That may be you not getting a divorce. But that's not success. Longevity and success are not the same thing. Being unhappily married for 50 years is not as successful as being married happily for like 5 years, in my opinion. Like, maybe you shouldn't have gotten married, but like, I say a 5-year happy marriage is like way more successful than a 50-year unhappy marriage. Keep that in mind. Successful relationships are built off of the back of love, trust, compassion, communication. That's it. That's all you really need. And respect. I forgot respect. That's a really big one. If you want a successful relationship, you need to have all of those things. Longevity and success are not the same. Happiness is how we determine success. Nothing else. Okay? Great. This is a woman saying, I'm polyamorous. And the man responding, that's an awful lot of syllables for whore. Which is horrible. And such an upsetting conversation. I feel like so many people don't actually know what polyamory is and they don't really care to think about what polyamory is. I was actually having this conversation with someone like yesterday of like, it is such a misunderstood thing because monogamy is so forced in our society. It's such the norm that people don't even like question it. And I find it really interesting that like when you think of polyamory based on what society has tried to sell it to us as, when women think of toxic polyamory, you're going to think of like red pillars and how they take advantage of women and they just go and collect women. They're just like, I want to sleep with everyone and you're not allowed to sleep with anyone. So then when a man suggests polyamory to like a woman, they're going to be like, maybe not for me. And then when men think of polyamory, they think of women and slut shaming women and being like, you're just greedy, you're a whore. Which I find really interesting because both of those are misogynistic. Like, that shows misogyny so deeply. It's men being slut-shamey and misogynistic towards women, and then it's women being afraid that men are being misogynistic. Like, it's very interesting. But anyway, regardless, there are so many different ways that polyamory works. And, like, one of the ways that polyamory works that seems to be the most, like, common that I see is people having, like, a primary partner and then, like, date other people, and they have, like, secondary partners. So there's someone whom they're, like, married to or in like a long-term very committed relationship with, and then they'll have like, you know, casual things on the side, or they'll have like partners that they see like less frequently kind of thing. And I think that like people seem to think that polyamory is like got a lot of mistrust and it's going to be really unhealthy, and I don't really understand that at all, because like polyamorous relationships, like successful polyamorous relationships must be some of the most like strong relationships there is. It requires a lot of trust, you know. There has to be a lot of communication. These people have to have a lot of trust and communication and like love for one another. And I think that like, you know, polyamory is this thing of like, you can have several friends, right? Like you can have a best friend and then a bunch of other friends. And that's sort of the same as polyamory. I don't understand why people can't separate it out. Like your partners should also be your friends. And if you can have multiple friends, why can't you have multiple partners? People seem to think that there's like a limit on how much love you can give, but there's not. You are capable of giving as much love to as many people and things as you desire. You can love so many more than just one person, you know? Like, it's so interesting to me that people seem to put just like a limit on love and compassion and like how many people you're able to do that for. Like, I personally have a very low social battery. It's not something I think I would be able to do, in the sense that like I can barely manage having like three friends. Like it's a lot. Being an adult and having a social life is very difficult. And polyamory sounds like a lot of work because I like can't see that many people. But I don't understand why people have a problem with it. And I don't understand why there's so much slut shaming associated with it. And it just doesn't really make any sense to me. That was a long rant about polyamory. That was probably not that necessary, but I needed to say it, so I did. You're welcome. This is a woman returning home after an 11-day vacation to her house where her husband or long-term boyfriend was looking after their kids. So basically the entire place is just trashed. There's rubbish all over the floor. There's toys all over the floor. It's like a mess. Nothing has been picked up since she left. Everything that was put on the floor by either her partner or by her kids is still there. And she captioned it, "At least he kept the kids alive," shrugging emoji. Like, this is weaponizing competence to the max. Like, I hope that you got your kids and you left, because like, oh my God, you would be better off alone. Like, straight up. Because like, not only are you clearly doing all of the housework and all of the childcare, like you are doing everything for your kids and yourself, but also your husband, because he doesn't contribute. So you're cleaning up after your husband and like looking after him as well. Like, if you leave, that's one less person to like look after, because he's not doing anything. He's not being a partner. He is being a child. So you deserve better. And I sincerely hope that you leave. It's wild to me that he's like, yeah, I can watch the kids. And then does this so that what, you'll never leave again, because he's proved that he's incapable of being an adult, you know? And like, I know not everyone is capable of housework and of cleaning and of childcare. I am aware of that. However, in this instance, he clearly is, or she wouldn't have left him alone in charge of those things. Like, you know, if he needed help, he could have got help in. If they needed a carer or a nanny or like a cleaner or whatever, like that could have been something that they did. They clearly didn't need that. He clearly told her he would be fine. She clearly trusted him to look after their children, and he didn't do that because he doesn't want her to leave again, because he doesn't know how to look after himself, or he chooses not to know how to look after himself or the kids, and just wants to rely on her entirely. And that's so sad. It's so awful when partners are like this. They're not partners. They're not partners. They're just not. They're not partners. They're just like people that live in your house that you have to look after. Not cool. I hope you leave him. He absolutely deserves to be left. Surprising wifey by switching her birth control pills with sugar pills. Oh my God. Why? Don't do that. That's so horrible. It's so horrible to do that to someone. Don't mess with people's medication. Don't mess with people's bodies. It's not funny. It's not a prank. It's abuse. Messing with your wife's birth control and potentially like risking her getting pregnant when she obviously does not want to be pregnant is an incredibly fucked up thing to do. That like constitutes as rape. Like, because you are having sex without her full consent, because she is not consenting to the potential of pregnancy. Once you are lying in order to have sex with someone, like that is not sex anymore, that is assault. So if you have genuinely switched her birth control pills and are then being like, we should have sex, you've just assaulted her. That's what that is. It's the same as like stealthing, right? When like during sex, they'll like remove the condom without telling you. Like, not okay at all. Not funny, not a joke. It's abusive. And I don't know how people are posting this on the internet and like being like, this is a funny, haha, normal thing to do. And people will always laugh about it, being like, lol, yeah, that is funny. It's not even a little bit funny. It's not even a little bit funny. The shit people post online for like likes and attention is like absolutely unreal. Like, even if this isn't something that he actually did and he's just posting for likes and engagement, like that's still incredibly messed up. And like a lot of people do actually do this. It's so fucked up. This is a picture of Harry Potter, and it says, only guy who had an invisibility cloak and never went at the girls' locker room. No. And they captioned it, still can't believe it. Like, horrible. Firstly, they were all teenagers, and it would have been really fucking weird to put them, like, I don't know, breaking consent and, like, harassing women in their fucking movies and books. Like, encouraging that and being like, that's a normal, that boys will be boys, just teenagers being teenagers, you know? Like, it's really fucked up to be even implying that that's something he would do and to like make that into a joke. Like, it's so gross and so awful. The fact that that's where your brain goes and you're like, if I had a cloak of invisibility, I would go spy on women while they're vulnerable and naked and don't know that I'm there. Holy shit. Get help. That's not normal. That's not okay. Please stay away from women. Please, our bodies aren't for you. Okay. It's wild the takes that people have. It's so scary how people like view things and how people want to violate people. Because yikes. The year is 2050. Batman was too problematic. Their name is now Batperson. Drinks only soy milk. Non-binary. Uses they-them pronouns. Non-violent. Funded by Bill Gates. Had a vasectomy. Has BLM bumper sticker in Batmobile. Provides a safe space for others. Refers to women as birthing persons. And no butler. I love that like 3 of these have to do with Batman being non-binary. Like, that's so funny. That's so funny that they think that that's like the central part of being leftist, is they're like, everyone's non-binary. That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. Bat person. Oh my god. But like, I know I say this every time, but I truly don't understand what conservatives have against alternative milks. What is it with them and milk? Like, it's so, what is their obsession with dairy? They need to like chill out. They need to chill out about dairy. I don't get why there's such a huge obsession with something that is like bad for you, bad for animals, and bad for the planet. Like, why? I mean, that sounds right. Actually, you know what? That sounds right. They really do love their things that are bad for everyone. So it is right up their alley, but I don't understand the obsession. They need to chill out and let it go a little bit, you know? Like, calm down. Non-violent, I mean, like, I feel like, aren't we accused of being violent all the time? Like, in protests and stuff, even peaceful protests, aren't we constantly being accused of being violent? So, like, how are you gonna say that Batman will be non-violent while also accusing leftists of being violent when we think that it's necessary? And like, I don't understand like, it's so hypocritical. The thoughts they have and the beliefs they hold and the way they view us like changes every day depending on how they feel. And it's so funny to see happen. It's so funny to watch them like just constantly switch on their beliefs. And also like, has a BLM bumper sticker in the Batmobile. Like, that's such a small thing. Like, why does that bother you? Why does that bother you? And creating a safe space, I feel like Batman is someone who would create a safe space. Like, why is that a bad thing? Why is anyone creating a safe space seen as a negative? That's so odd. Women have 2 sets of lips for a reason. One pair for arguing, the other for apologizing. Ew. No. Stop. Don't. No. Use your mouth lips to do both, please. Please have conversations and don't try to solve arguments with sex. That's not gonna work. That's not how this works. That is not healthy. It's not healthy. Okay? Like, have conversations with your partner. Don't just use your body to like get out of conversations that are important. That's just gonna lead up to your relationship having so much negativity and being so tense all the time. Please talk. Please communicate. It is so important. How men see yoga. Basically, it's a woman in like different yoga positions with like the outline of like a man in different positions, like behind her, between her legs, etc. Like, that's what's happening in these photos. Can you please not sexualize everything that women do? Can you let us like exist in our bodies and do things? Like, if we're trying to just, you know, do yoga, can you not objectify us for just a moment? Can you let us just like do something that brings us joy or peace or whatever? Like, it is exhausting to live your life thinking about how men are looking at you. Like, so exhausting. Men will always say things like, why would you eat a banana in public? Like, you're making men think this. Why are you eating this like this? Why are you doing this like this? Don't you know what men are gonna... Like, shut up. Let me live my life in my body without perceiving me as an object. Or just don't perceive me at all, actually. Just, like, avert your eyes, look away. Don't interact with me. Don't even look at me. Don't even notice me. Because if you're gonna view me as an object, I'd rather you just, like, pretend I don't exist. This is a tweet from someone saying, why do men not like to vent? What's so wrong with saying how you feel? And then directly followed by telling him it's okay to vent so you can use his lows against him in the next argument, and then like the greater than sign. And that was actually tweeted 2 weeks earlier. And like, I wonder why men don't trust you. I wonder why they don't confide in you. Don't use people's lows against them. Oh my God, that's so horrible. You should care about your partner and the men in your life and anyone in your life enough to like let them talk and be, you know, someone to listen. Don't use someone's weaknesses against them. That's horrible. Don't manipulate someone. Don't use their struggles to win an argument. That is so incredibly fucked up. Don't do that, please, ever. That is absolutely not okay, even a little bit. A man posted a photo of his wife and their like infant daughter at the beach with the caption, "My wife and daughter are absolutely beautiful." And someone like reposted it saying, "You are getting cucked big time, dude. You are most likely raising your daughter to be an OnlyFans whore while she's getting railed by Tyrone at the club. Having a daughter is like having a disloyal wife that you can't have sex with." Which is one of the most horrific, vile things I have ever read in my entire life. Why are you looking at a baby and thinking that? Why are you looking at a baby and saying that? Looking at any woman and thinking that is horrifying enough, but looking at a baby and saying that is like disgusting. Take yourself straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go to jail immediately. Immediately. Thank you. Because what in the holy fuck? Also, viewing your daughter as like just a shit wife that you can't have sex with is horrifying. Horrifying. Just viewing women as people that you want to sleep with and nothing more. So therefore a daughter is like awful to have because it's a woman you can't have sex with is vile. Absolutely vile. I sincerely hope you don't have a daughter. This is the thing, it's so interesting because like you see people saying like, "I hope you have a daughter," as like some sort of punishment for them, but like that is the last thing you should be wishing because the only person who's going to be suffering in that situation is the daughter. You know, like you always see it, like you see like people saying to homophobic people, "I hope your kid turns out gay. I hope your kid is trans." They say it to like TERFs and I'm like, why? Why? Because like that's just horrible for the child. Why are you wishing a poor life on a child in order to punish a parent? Like that's so fucked up. You know, I hope this person doesn't have a daughter and I hope they don't have a son either because they'll be raising their son to be a misogynistic nightmare as well. I hope they just rot alone for the rest of their life because they don't deserve a partner. Absolutely. They deserve just a shitty life because they're a shitty person. They shouldn't have kids. They shouldn't have a partner. They shouldn't really have any love in their life, to be honest. And I'm sorry if that's harsh, but I don't actually care. If you are going to talk about a baby like that, I don't care. Suffer. When the train always stops in exactly the same place, the air conditioner always drips in exactly the same place, and a tiny ecosystem is born. # train Twitter. That's really cute. I love that. But there's a comment that says, "Yes, and when somebody is born male, they will be male their entire life. Every cell in their body is male and vice versa." Like, how is that? How is that relevant to anything? That's so irrelevant to the conversation at hand here. We're talking about a train that helped grow a plant from air conditioner leaking. And you're like, but trans people aren't valid. Who asked, bro? Who asked? That's so irrelevant. That's so irrelevant. Not true. Either trans men are men and trans women are women, but like this isn't the place to even begin to have that argument because it's so irrelevant. We are on train Twitter right now. Train Twitter reposted to Facebook and you're like, fuck trans people, what is wrong with you? Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, we've ended on not a positive, obviously, but like something kind of funny because it's so out of pocket. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Click the little notification bell. I don't think I've ever asked to do that before because I always forget. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. I appreciate you greatly. And a massive thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Harry, Bobby, Sparrow, Josh, Mandy, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Danielle, Raven, Anoli Like Cannoli, Elias, Apollo, Taylor's Trying, Boston, Chris, Amelia, and Anu. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If anyone else would like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For £1 a month, you get my videos a day early as well as podcasts a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, and more. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes.